Alright everyone, how's it going? My name is Mr. Boss for the win, and welcome to another episode of some Black Ops 2. So recently on Twitter and in my personal message inbox, I've been getting questions for you guys asking me to do videos on classes that are meant to do a specific thing, whether rushing, get a lot of kill streaks, be stealthy, and today I'm going to be talking about my favorite rushing class in Black Ops 2. So hopefully you can learn a little bit, and let's really get started. So the concept behind this is using a submachine gun that you really like. So this is the part that is really interchangeable. If you like the MSMC or the PDW, run with that. But my favorite submachine gun is the MP7, and that is one that I'm really comfortable with. So I'm using it with stock, red dot, I've got an EMP grenade, I have got a C4, I'm also using engineer, fast hands, and perk 1 greed, which allows me to do lightweight and hardline. So I'm going to talk a little bit about those and why I think this is the best rushing class. So typically when you think of a rushing class, you think of, marathon or in this case extreme conditioning, pairing that with lightweight, and that is not the case. I really don't like to use extreme conditioning on a rushing class like this because I will only use a class like this on great examples of maps like Hijacked, very small maps, Studio, even Vertigo would be one that I would use because I would stay indoors a lot. So I'm not going to be running from like mapped like Carrier. Carrier would be a great example of a map to use extreme conditioning on, but this is not one of them because you can easily get from one side of the map to the other in a short amount of time with or without extreme conditioning. So you might as well use a perk that will benefit you in a better way, and which is my case, stopping things from like shock charges and etc. blowing up in my face. Now, as far as the gun, I'm using it with stock and red dot sight. And I like stock because it allows me to do what I like doing a lot, which is, peeking people around the corner. In Call of Duty Ghost, there's going to be a new lean around wall feature, which is really what I like to do with the stock feature. I like to run around walls, kind of like what I just did right there, aiming down sight, but still being able to have enough speed to get out of the way. I did the exact same thing right there in case you were interested. And the red dot sight is just for my preference, so I can be a little bit more accurate and put better shots on target, which is ultimately the goal when you have a submachine gun and you have a really fast fire rate. You want to put things on target in a timely and precise manner. So, talking a little bit about the EMP and C4, you see that in a lot of my classes, and I typically wouldn't run EMP grenades if I wasn't using Engineer. But because Engineer really highlights things from across the map, it is so easy for me to say, hey, there's a guy with a shock charge bouncing Betty combination. Let me throw this EMP grenade, disable his security system, and give myself 200 or 100 free points. That is the objective I'm going for, and even in situations like right here, I have an unsilenced weapon. So anytime I throw an EMP grenade, I'm essentially creating a third attachment for myself, which is the silencer. So that's one of the things I think of as well when I run the EMP class and a submachine gun without a silencer. It's definitely one of those things that you want to consider when building a class like this. Now, as far as my perks go, I've already touched on Engineer. Fast Hands is obviously, since I don't have a secondary weapon, I'm not switching to another weapon. It's really just for my, as I get a nice 5-man Hellstorm right there, it's honestly just for my EMP grenades, which take a little longer to throw, and C4 for C4 throws right there so that I can get quick kills. So Fast Hands is just typically, it's a rusher perk, so you're moving around, you're doing things fast, and that is why I think it is a great suggestion for a really nice rushing class, and it's why I like it as part of mine. Now, my final two perks, lightweight, that's pretty self-explanatory. Since I don't want to give up Engineer for extreme conditioning, lightweight is one of those perks that I really like. I can get away with not running Flak Jacket by putting myself in situations, especially in a game type like Kill Confirm, where there's no real objective that you have to play other than collecting tags. And finally, hardline. Because in this class, I'm not using lower streaks. Typically, when you use a rushing class, you don't expect to go on 8, 11, 10 kill streaks. But in this case, I found myself staying alive quite a bit, so I beefed up my kill streaks. And when I beefed up my score streaks, I should rather say, these aren't low streaks at all. If anything, these are kind of mid to high streaks, especially the orbital VSAT. There's nothing low about that. So getting a 25 or 20% less bonus, cutting the VSAT kills or score from like 10 to 8 or whatever it is, like 11 to 9, can actually be very helpful, especially when you're on your second or third VSAT and you're on that roll and you're doing really well, and the VSATs just seem to keep rolling in and rolling in and rolling in. And the kill streak combination I really like, because the Hellstorm missile and the Hellstorm missile and the Lightning Strike can be used almost instantaneously. It's like if you want to call it in, you can call it in, and in this case, it's gotten me 5 kills at once, 2 or 3 kills at once, 1 at the minimum, really. And then the Orbital VSAT is just the icing on the cake, where you can really do a lot of damage with the gun in the class that you are presented, because you know where everyone is. And especially on really small maps like this, when you're using this class, the Orbital VSAT is going to be extra powerful, because in case the spawns do flip, you're not going to be very far from the action. You're maybe 5 or 6 seconds away from the action at all times, and that I think is really key. Anyways, guys, my name is Mr. Boss with the Win. Hopefully you have enjoyed these tips on the best Russian class I think there is on YouTube. If you have enjoyed these tips, please subscribe, and of course I would enjoy you guys to leave a like and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this class. Have a nice day, guys, and of course I'll see you guys in the next video.